or either ways, this somebody, whichever. Nirtan?
Yeah, I can play that. You gonna play?
Okay.
Yes. I'll do my best.
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्रभु की श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे अनर्पितचरीं चिरात् करुणयावतीर्ण कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतोज्ज्वलरसां स्वभक्तिश्रियम् हरिः पुरटसुन्दरद्युतिकदम्बसन्दीपितः सदा हृदयकन्दरे स्फुरतु वः शचीनन्दनः हन्ताय मद्रिरबला हरिदासवर्यो यद्रामकृष्णचरणस्पर्शप्रमोदः मानं तनोति सह गो गणयोस्तयोर्यत् पानीयसूयवसकन्दरकन्दमूलैः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपादमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् हरे कृष्णा जय श्री राधे First of all, apologies for being 10 minutes little over time. We tried the best, and all glories to the Vahakas. They brought in time. So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you to Rahul ji, Deepika ji, and Ram ji for hosting. Yes, for hosting in their homes, and I'm very grateful to the community here, management here for giving me the opportunity to serve again, and that service is just a bahana. It's for me to get all of your association, and I really cherish that. um, I seek blessings of all of you who are assembled here. You have spent your valuable time to come here, and all our acharyas, that we are embarking on a very intricate topic. I don't know which valleys we'll take. So we seek their blessings so that we can please them with our discussion and inspire us a little bit more in our journey, one step forward, and effect the purification of our heart. With that, I don't want you to wait also for long. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I found one more gadget in your home. As I was looking at that, observing that. Did you see that?
Yes. Peacock
The automatic peacock fan. So, the topic is of swings of union and separation. Let's begin by going to Greek civilization. Many, many thousands of years ago, there were a lot of natural philosophers. Natural philosopher means they deal with nature. And their preoccupation was to think about how this entire thing has come about. If it is nothing, it will be nothing. If it is something, there will be something. So, if the entire creation has come about, then there must be some natural padartha, particles behind it. So, these were the natural philosophers who first talked about what? The earth, ether. We know that in our Sanatan Dharma, but these philosophers are also talking about the elements of nature. However, one thing really perplexed them. What, how do you account the change? So if it is air, earth, water, fire, how does it convert to this big, nice home and to that gadget? Or to the gadget up there where you ring the bell and it starts turning around? It's so complex. But the earth, fire, these are all very simple. So they were all scratching their head. And they became two sets of thinkers. One set said that nothing changes. It's all as it is. It's just illusion. Sounds familiar? So there one philosopher who came said that suppose I have to traverse the distance between me and Anirudh, what do I have to do? I have to first go half the distance, right? And then half the distance. And then half the distance. This will go on for eternity, which means I can never meet. There can never be union. It's always separation. So which means everything stays as it is. Some of you have read mathematics. This is called zeros or Zeno's paradox. There is no movement. On the other hand, there were a set of philosophers who said that everything is changing. This is similar to what we hear about in Buddhist Dharma also, and in some sections of our Sanatan Dharma. Shanikavad. What? Shanikavad. Everything is Shanabhar. In Shana, in a moment, it changes. Have you heard of the saying that we never step into the same river again? You've heard about this. We never step into the same river again. So, according to Shanikavad, everything is temporary. Now, we know it quite well in our philosophy also, why everything is temporary. Because Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has created this material world, but the material world is under the purview, kind of domination by the three modes. And the three modes are always competing with each other. What are the three modes? The mode of goodness, which is sattva, the mode of passion, which is rajas, and the mode of ignorance, which is tamas. And sometimes we think that Well, I have come to the mode of sattva, so bye bye to all the rajas and tamas. It's not so. Why? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Rajas tamas chabhibhuya. Rajas and tamas, they are acting, and what happens? Sattvam bhavati bharata. Sattva controls them. So sattva comes and sidelines both of them. What both of them? Rajas and tamas. It happens also. Rajah sattvam tamas chaiva. Tamaha comes and attacks the other two. And finally, Sattvam Rajas, Tamaha Sattvam Rajas Tataha. They are all competing with each other. And through that, we know that things change. Have we observed during the day that the day begins with nice sattva, and no sooner the traffic begins, it becomes passion, and no sooner we are drained out, the tamas is waiting for all of us. They start competing. And that's why all our acharyas have told us that none of these three modes are stable, hence we have to move beyond the three modes because they are a mixture. Today we can bask in sattva, but tomorrow rajas will come. Activity. Sattva means balanced, rajas means overactivity, and tamas means inactivity. So today I may be balanced and happy, but no sooner I think that I'm settling down, overactivity will come. Or then later, Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you. And no sooner I'm thinking, oh, I'm just doing activity, then inactivity will kick in. Why? Because the body energy is limited, isn't it? So the saints tell us that exit from all these three modes. And a sadhaka is always savdhan that he or she is operating in Shuddha Sattva and not just Sattva. If it is just Sattva, it will be pulled down. If it is Shuddha Sattva, it won't be pulled down. And this is called eternal vigilance. In Vrindavan, many times in many of the mathas, a placard is written Sadhu Sadaiva Savdhan. What? Sadhu Sadaiva Savdhan, which means, hey Sadhu, please be always vigilant. Somewhere it is also written Savdhani Hati Durghatna Ghati. If you go veer away from Savdhani, Durghatna will happen. But we have examples of those who were harboring or swimming in lower modes. One such personality is Dhritarashtra. Even after getting defeated, Pandavas defeated the Kauravas royally and he was humiliated. Yet Dhritarashtra is thinking that he can slide down and still trump over. And he even tried to crush Bhima. Then some personality came and made him exit out of these lower modes. Who is that personality? Vidura, isn't it? Vidura came and told him that you are wasting your time. Everything has been done. How long will you wallow here? How long will you wallow here? Just move on. So he moved on, and Yudhishthira is now perplexed. Where did they go? He wanted to serve them. So who comes to him to explain where have their uncle and his aunt Gandhari and Kunti also, right, has gone? Who came? Narad Muni. He always comes at the right moment, at the right time, isn't it? So let's change the name of Bhagavatam to be the Chronicles of not Narnia, Narada. It's Chronicles of Narada. Every canto, maybe after every few chapters, Narada comes and he gives a different swing, to different devotees. To some, he gives direct injection or direct operation without anesthesia. To some, he like very, and as we say in Hindi, puchkar ke, very nicely, kindly. Like there were these two sets of brothers, we heard about them, Hariashwas and Shabalashwas. Hariashwas were 10,000 in number. And they were doing a lot of karma kanda, means all the time doing sacrifices in Havan to get something, and because they were preparing to enter into Hare Krishna. Anything?
Sorry, just kidding. I was just asking, where is this?
These will come. These will come. And somebody has to have the this thing near to their lap. You will never know, right? Just like Verak can hit us at any time. So the song can also come. Right now we are just warming up. So Narad Muni told the Mariashwas, he told them a big riddle. In Hindi we used to have these paper cuttings. We were just discussing. Bujho to jane. And looks like you had too much fun some weeks ago. Sa janati, yo janati sa panditaha. Correct. So bujho to jane. So he was doing riddles. And after riddles, they knew. Hence they gave up. And they left and became sannyasis. Now came their Daksha Prajapati was very sad. And then came the next set of kids, Shabalashwas. To them, he didn't give this Yo janati sa pandita bhujho to jane. But he just told them, Chandra Shakha Nyaya, as they say. How do you show the Chandrama? Point to the Shakha. So he just pointed to them. They're the elder brothers. I mean, they might be having good intelligence. So why don't you follow them? They also thought, yeah, it might be a good idea to follow them. So it was very quick DYS course. I mean, you didn't even need sessions. Chronicles of Narada. Narada came and told Yudhishthir Maharaj some facts about life. And that's where we'll be beginning from. He told about the condition in life in which there is meeting and separation. This is the first time in Bhagavatam this idea of union and separation comes. But before we go there, we have to admire teachers like Narada, that they don't come and just deal with the existential situation which we are going through. We all go through existential situation, right? Or in Mumbai language, वाट लगी हुई है or gigawatt. It's existential situation, and the great teachers of the tradition, they will deal with the existential situation, they will help us come out, but they also want us to transcend. That's what Krishna did in Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna said karpanya doshopahata swabhavam, that I am having karpanya dosh means just weakness of heart. Sometimes we are able to fight with the sense objects or the things which take us down. That's a yuddha. It is called Vishaya Sangara. Sangara means Sangram. Vishaya means just the things which affect us. Vishnu Chakri Thakur says sometimes it is Parajaya, sometimes it is Vijaya. We become victorious over them, sometimes we fall short. Even if we become all the time victorious, that's just not the spiritual life, right? They would tell Rahul Dravid, score some runs also. Just don't be a wall. Score some runs. Life is also about scoring some runs, just not being there. So, after Vishaya Sangara, after we have won over the sense objects, the need is to get the wherewithal of the heart and move forward. But that's the another struggle. Even if we win the battle with the sense objects, the strength to follow the rules may be lacking. And this is called niyamakshama. What? Niyamakshama. Akshama means incapable, niyam means rules. Inability to follow the rules. Arjun is saying, I'm suffering from that. Karpanya dosh, weakness of the heart. So now Krishna didn't say, okay, let's deal with what situations, the battlefield is there and you can fight. Come on, you'll always win. Our military phalanx is arranged very nicely. No. Krishna directly transcended. All right? And he talked about the innermost nature. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. This is amazing teaching. In history, ideas have consequences. A simple idea can have consequence. Krishna knew this Gita would be read by many, many. So he took this opportunity not only to transcend Arjun from his existential situation, but also to implant a revolutionary idea that you're the soul. Krishna just didn't deal with the nitty gritty things, right? Okay, you should fight like this and maybe have S 400 with you and then have some few more ballistic missiles. No, no, that will be taken care. Let me first transcend your existential situation. And this idea is powerful, it's revolutionary because ideas have consequences, they make history. That's what Narad Muni did here. To Yudhishthir Maharaj, he's not first talking about, oh, well, they were so sad and Vidura came and took them to forest. That I'll deal with. You also know it perhaps, or you have forgotten about it. Let me first tell you what happens in the material world. He's having Yudhishthira transcend his anxiety to come to terms with what is the reality of the material world. So he says, Ma kanchana shucho rajan, O Rajan, do not lament. Yadishvara vasham jagat, this jagat is controlled by Ishwar. So things are happening according to some plan. Sa Sanyunakti, that personality Ishwar, he brings people together. And Saeva Vyunakti cha, he only takes it. Now this is powerful because while we try to make things proper, try to amend the things which have been broken, but after a while, it's Thakurji. This understanding is possible only in Sanatan Dharma. The kind of giving dependence to, being dependent on the Supreme Lord. That's how we do bhakti as well. We have a Vesh, which has been given to us by our Gurudevs. We have this flag logo, tilaka. We have the japamala and the beads, which could be here or somewhere. But who has given them? Our Gurudev, Krishna, our parampara, our acharyas. So actually, while we are doing it, at the back of the mind, we know that we are dependent. This is like having two opposite views in the mind. While we do the best, we also leave the rest. Let me repeat. While we do the best, we leave the rest also. How? Just leave everything, right? Or just keep doing it. If you keep doing it, that enters into the realm of, just karma, right? Purushartha, only Purushartha. And if you leave it everything, it's almost like very doomsday philosophy that everything is planned, everything will happen on its own accord, you don't have to do anything. So people will just become lethargic. But that sweet spot of maximum effort and maximum dependence, let me repeat, maximum effort and maximum dependence. That's where magic happens. Sa Sanyunakti, Sa Eva Viyunakti. And he gives examples. Kids, now we have some kids here in when we were growing up, we had this culture of GI Joes. Some, yeah, we had this GI Joes and those. Nowadays they have Hamleys, right? Hamleys. So the children will play with the two toys. Saeva Sanyunakti, Saeva Viyunakti. The kids will bring them, attack it, and let the things fall. So Narad Muni is telling, Yatha Krido Paskaranam, just like a child is playing and he is having the sanyog of the playthings and the viyog of the playthings. So just imagine that way Ishvara is also doing. Lord is also separating, Lord is also bringing us together. Not only Narad Muni says it. In 10th canto, when our dear Vasudev is meeting whom? Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is going to get the offerings, tax to Kamsa. And Vasudeva is already worried about because he knows that Kamsa is sending the different demons. So Vasudeva is inquiring him about the well-wishing, well, how Krishna is, how his family is faring and things like that. It doesn't take the name of Krishna and things like that. He has to keep it secret. But then when they are meeting, they are discussing the same thing. Oh, it's just a blessing that Naikatra Priya Samvasah Suhradam Chitra Karmanam. Suhradam of the well wishers to meet them is actually very vichitra. Just think about. I don't know how many of you have been in local trains or any public transport. Sometimes we meet people and we have no prior thought or any conclusive contemplation that we will meet that person. And the yatra is finished, we separate also. And sometimes that extends. We meet a person for long duration and then we separate in life. So the union and the separation goes on. Now, if it is a novel, like the Charles Dickens novel, it's union, separation, union, separation, union, separation, and then finally everybody meets. That's called a Dickensian way of tying things together. But that does not happen in real life. Wish it could happen. It does not happen. So we may think union is good and separation is painful. Right? Krishna is making people come together and having them go. Going is painful. So union is good. Let's keep meeting people. Let them not go away from us. What do you think? Union is good, separation is painful. Well, in material world, if you ask a Jnani, he will say both are pathetic. The asakti that, oh, I have gotten the person or the thing is also an illusion. And the sadness that the person has gone away is also illusion. In Yoga Sutras, it is said, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesh. These are the five kleshas. It begins with avidya, that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the ego. And then it becomes asmita. Asmita means I and mine. And as a result of that, we have rag and dvesh. Let things be near me and I love them. And then if somehow there's a separation, I move away, then there is dvesh, rag and dvesh. Rag and dvesh, rag and dvesh. It's like an alternating current. And what happens as a result? The fifth thing, which is Abhinivesh. What is Abhinivesh means? There is a ministry, right? In Hindi, Abhinivesh, Niyog or something like that. Abhinivesh means investment. So when Rag and Desh, alternating current, affects us, what happens? Clinging. We just become invested in the material world. Rag as well as Dvesh. The attachment as well as aversion. In fact, they are the sides, two sides of the same coin of Abhinivesh. So, according to the material sphere. And if you talk with a Jnani, a Vairagi, he'll say, well, both are problematic. Fly your own plane. No wingman is even needed. It's a jet plane. Nobody can sit. And we know if a person gets free from rag and dvesh, he becomes Jivan Mukt. What? Jivan Mukt, not Videha Mukt. Videha Mukt means after leaving the body. Jivan Mukt means now. It's like Halka Pulka Admi. He's going around, he or she is going around, things don't affect. It's tough, right? Many things affect us and they pinch our hearts even if you're going, especially suppose if you're going to India and enter a government building, an old government building, and it is written, Yahan thukna mana hai. Don't spit here. And the maximum density of is there. And it pinches. But we can't do anything also. There are many such phenomena like this. And our memory just starts burning. Our heart starts becoming coming in a panic mode. Everything around just pinches us. In fact, in psychology, there's a personality types whose just existence in the world is an overwhelming experience. Everything overwhelms them. Sometimes it happens. Just everything is too overwhelming. The traffic, the pollution, the state of the world. What can be done? However, Bhagavad Gita says, Raga, Dvesha, Viyuktaistu, sometimes it says Vimuktaistu, Vishayan, Indriyaischaran, Atma Vashyer Vidhe Atma, Prasadam Adhigachati. Not that Prasadam, that is also Prasadam, but general mercy, Rag Dvesh. And then Prasade Sarva Dukkhanam, Sarva Dukkhanam, all the kleshas. Hanihi, Hani means destruction of all the dukkhas. Hanirus Asyopajayate, then it becomes Prasanna Chetaha. No attachment to aversion. So we'll say, okay, good, both are bad. But that's not true in devotional circles. Union and separation in the material world are inevitable, and a Vairagi would say that a materialistic would say what? Union is good and separation is bad. A Vairagi would say what? Union is and separation is bad. Get rid of both of them. But what would a devotee say? Well, we pine for devotee association. We hanker for devotee association. We get it, we are happy. If we don't get it, we hanker for it. So there is a union in the separation also. How many books have been written about Srila Prabhupada's pastimes? And they are still coming. And even though Prabhupada has left the body, those who are remembering, and those who are hearing, those who are remembering. So first there are those who are remembering. And those who are hearing what they are remembering are equally excited. Oh, such a personality walked. So we had one Harikesh Maharaj. This Maharaj was recounting its pastimes with Prabhupada, and he served as a personal servant of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very pakka about his meals. And Prabhupada, and it's very strange because Prabhupada comes from Bangladesh. Not Bangladesh, Bangla region. Anybody from Bangla region here? No. There's a saying, Amake bhat lagbe, means we like rice. But according to Prabhupada, and I think that Yamuna Mataji said, if there is roti, anything else is a bonus. Good puffed up roti means rest of the thing is bonus. And when I heard that, I thought, well, only Brijvasis do like that. Because for Brijvasis, it is Bejad ka tikka. Bejad, I think last time we discussed, Jad means unconscious. Bejad is conscious, but not that's not the meaning. Bejad is a particular atta which has 5 kgs of wheat and 1.5 kgs of chana, ground chana, and half kgs of barley. So that's a very healthy atta. They make rotis out of it, and you bring anything else with that. Brijvasis are happy. Even salt would do. So Prabhupada would say, do anything, but have the rotis puffed up. Now, they had to go into so many places. And some of the places you have this hot plate, right? And I have the experience. Good for nothing. And and sometimes they would get attas which was as good as sand dust. Nothing would happen, right? You cannot knead it, and then you cannot roll it, and then forget about puffing up. So Harikesh Maharaj is trying in different places, and it is coming royal papad. You know the papad? Yeah, maybe papad was better than that. And he just gave up, dashed into Prabhupada's room and said, nobody can make nice rotis here. So Prabhupada looked at him. You've heard about it? Prabhupada said, nobody? With his, Prabhupada's almond eyes. Nobody? And then Harikesh Maharaj was also very dramatic, right? Said, nobody can make these good rotis. Earlier they were making good rotis. The rotis like that. And Prabhupada again looked with his almond eyes. Nobody? And said, nobody. Then Prabhupada did. He got up from his asanas, went to the whatever little square kitchen they had, and started doing kneading. And Harikesh Maharaj, at that time, Prabhu is standing there and looking what's going on. So Prabhupada does the kneading, does the, what do you call it, rolling, and then puts that circular thing on the hot plate, and it doesn't puff up. So behind, Harikesh Maharaj smirked. Prabhupada looked. So, now, when he's remembering all of this, there is a union, right? And when we hear about this, we could see, we could imagine the personality of Prabhupada as, victorious, challenger, and wanted to discipline his students. He wrote the book Second Chance. So he took the second chance. Now he's doing. And this time, it puffs up. And Harikesh Maharaj is shocked, but the second shock was coming. Prabhupada picked that up, threw it, direct hit, and bounced off. We keep remembering all these pastimes, and still devotees are writing it. Union is great with devotees. It's the most important anga, correct? Rupa Goswami says, Adau Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sango Tha Bhajana Kriya. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, wait. No, not that soon. Shraddha cannot be that soon. So he says, Satam Kripa Mahat Seva Shraddha Guru Padashrayah. First of all, there is some Satam Kripa. Shraddha comes later. What does Shraddha means? Some sort of convincing faith in spiritual process. But that's the mercy of devotees. So first, some mercy has happened. Maybe we were chanting, the devotees were chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. And we were saying, Hare Krishna, Krishna. That's also fine. Rala Yora Bheda. But then somebody looked, wow, oh Krishna, do something. What happened? The channel of mercy opened. Or it's a festival and everybody's chanting, but we are liking the pakoras which have been cooked by the devotees. Some kripa happens. And then what happens? Satam kripa. After that, mahat seva. Kripa happens, and then the person thinks, let me do some service. These people are extraordinarily happy. I also want to be like them, so let me bring a kela for them, a banana for them. It begins with one banana, but a lot happens. Because after that, Shraddha, faith arises. After that, Guru Padashraya. Now one starts to take the association of devotees in the sense of getting some knowledge to progress further. So, devotee association is there in the Adi Lila, the Madhya Lila, and the Antya Lila also. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj would therefore say, well, interact with each others, thinking that these might be the devotees who would be chanting for you when you would be leaving the body. What would he say? That these might be the devotees who would be around when you would be leaving the bodies. So interact with them in such a manner. So devotee association is useful in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. And suppose we don't get, we hanker and we have songs about it, isn't it? दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास. Then he says what? Keep playing. रामचंद्र संगा मांगे नरोत्तम दास रामचंद्र संगा मांगे नरोत्तम दास. Thank you. Ramchandra's association, Narottam Das is asking, why? Even in the separation, there is an hankering. I miss you, right? And what can be said? And this theme, by the way, we'll go in depth. But what can be said when Krishna left Vrindavan? Right? That's it, done? Okay, bye bye, Krishna. No. Every day, every moment, they were remembering Krishna. And in that remembrance, there was a union, isn't it? And that is why poets have just penned songs after songs for this remembrance. निस दिन बरसत नैन हमारे निस दिन बरसत नैन हमारे निस दिन बरसत नैन हमारे निस दिन बरसत नैन हमारे. They are all singing, Brajvasis are singing that Nisi Din. Nisi means night, Din means day. Day and night, Barasat. Now, not like trickling, but Barasat. Nain means eyes, Hamare. Our eyes are pining for you, Krishna, and we are crying. And look at the metaphor they use. सदा रहत पावत ऋतु हम पर सदा रहत पावस ऋतु हम पर जब ते श्याम से धारे जब ते श्याम से धारे जब ते since that time, Shyam, who is Shyam? Krishna. Siddhare, he has left. Since then, we always have rainy season. What does that mean? Rainy season. Pavas mean, anybody from Maharashtra? It's like paus. Ala re paus ala, they sing like that. Rainy season. It's all the time rainy season. So what happens in the rainy season? अंजन थिर न रहत अखियन में अंजन थिर न रहत अखियन में कर कपोल भय कारे कारे कर कपोल भय कारे कारे. You can practice this. Put anjan, which is kajal, and maybe put some chloroform so that you cry. And then what will happen? There'll be streaks of that anjan coming here. And if you are fair complexion, what will happen? Kare kare. Anjan will not stay stable. Anjan will not be sthir, and it will flow. So the kar kapol, the cheeks will become like you, Shyam. What else will happen? कंचु की पट सूखत नहीं तबहु कंचु की पट सूखत नहीं कबहु उर बिच बहत पनारे उर बिच बहत पनारे. Our clothes will never be dried, and our hearts are releasing what? Syringes of tears, like Mahaprabhu would do. Mahaprabhu's tears won't be like one trickle and syringe. Imagine a person standing nearby. Oh, what fortune! You can cup your hands and drink it, right? It's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is crying. आंसू सलिल भय पग थाके आंसू सलिल भय पग थाके बहे जात सित तारे बहे जात सित तारे. We have new rivers in Vrindavan, Krishna, not only Yamuna. They are the rivers of tears, Asu Salila, and they are flowing near our legs, and everything just floats in them. So they are remembering Krishna all the time, and in that remembrance, they are feeling Krishna. And in the coming sessions, we will see that Krishna is right there. सूरदास अब डूबत है ब्रज सूरदास अब डूबत है ब्रज सूरदास है डूबत यह ब्रज सूरदास डूबत है ब्रज काहे ना लेत उबारे काहे ना लेत उबारे. He's saying now the Braj is having floods. Sometime back we had floods. Some of the devotees who were sitting here had to cross from here to here in boats. But the devotees thought that the Yamuna had come. And those olden days where Yamuna would flow near the homes, it is called Yamuna Pulin. It has manifested. So they went on a boat ride. And everybody is winging their Thakur and doing 1, 2, 3. Dubki. But the Brajvasis are saying, oh Krishna, the flood has happened. Because there are too many rivers of tears. And they are praying to Krishna. That prayer which is of maximum dependence. Kahe na let ubare. Why will you not deliver us? So devotee association is powerful, but in separation too there is hankering. And it's not a surprise. Sometimes, or rather, many of the most of the times, we celebrate disappearance festivals with much gusto. Sometimes we don't even celebrate appearance festivals. Disappearance is tirobhav, appearance is avirbhav. Why? Because when the acharya is living, although he knows things around, but he is limited to a particular body. There is a maryada, a rule of the material world. But when the acharya leaves the body, he is vyapak. He is there everywhere. So we can access him not only through the body, but maybe through somebody else, through his disciple also. And that feeling becomes more vyapaka. So, in the material world, for the materialistic, union is good, separation is not good. For a jnani or a vairagi, both are pathetic, union and separation. But for a devotee, union is good, separation is also good. Because for a devotee, association is one of the five limbs of bhakti which can quickly, it like inject bhav. Duruhat bhuta viryesmin shraddha durestu panchake. Even if somebody doesn't have the bhav developing in the heart, Rupa Goswami says that take the shelter of these five things: Srimad Bhagavatam, holy name, deity worship, going to the dham, and last, association of devotees. And we can think that association of devotees is already there in the four steps. Why? Better to read Bhagavatam with somebody. Better to go to Dham with somebody who can show the Dham. Deity worship, have somebody sing while you are worshipping. And what is last? Hmm? Mahamantra, we can do japa, but as Shachinandan Maharaj has written in Broken Names, that if we do japa, if we do dhyan, it is like capturing Krishna with silken threads. He'll run away because he's Chal Chabila. And if you do japa, it's like capturing Krishna with cotton threads, maybe ropes. Okay, Krishna might still go away. But doing Sankirtan with devotees is like capturing Krishna with iron chains. He will not. So, the association itself magnifies the effect of holy name. So, while we practice japa alone, and that's flying our own plane, and we do it, there must also be a provision for what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So union is good and separation is good for the devotees. But then the question comes, maybe union is little better, could be little better than separation because separation makes us cry, right? Nis din darsat nain hamare. But what happens in devotional life? It's a ulti dhara. What's the ulti dhara? That separation is better. Now, sometimes we use even the material examples to look at spiritual examples. Even though we know from material point of view that both union is good, separation is not good, but then just to understand why separation can be good, better than union, we can take the help of whatever is available to us. It's called Shakha Chandra Nyaya. You have to show to the point to the moon or show the moon. We'll say, look at that branch. And then the branch, on the edge of the branch, we see a round object. That is moon. So then even in the material circle, absence makes the heart grow fonder. There is one more thing. Always toward absent lovers, love's tide stronger flows. And it is all often advised in material circles also. Maybe a little distance is good. so that the value will be understood. Otherwise, it is what? Ghar ka paneer, dal barabar. We are vegetarian, so we use vegetarian example. Familiarity beats contempt, right? Why we use such examples? Because all our acharyas use the example of material love to point to spiritual love. Because our wiring is like that. Unless such examples are given, it's difficult. Mahaprabhu also did that. To whom? Rup and Sanatan. Rup and Sanatan came, but before they came, they were writing letters. And Mahaprabhu was not responding to those letters. Finally, he responded. And again, this is a very unorthodox example. Paravyasanini nari vyagrapi graha karmasu. Just like, and again, it is very unorthodox example. Mahaprabhu was saying, just like if you have a lover outside your home. Unorthodox example. So you do the homework, the work in the home nicely so that nobody will figure it out. And you're thinking about the lover outside. So Mahaprabhu told them, do your work nicely, okay, so that people don't create problems in your life, and you think about Krishna. And then finally Krishna will yank you out of the material world. Now anybody knows where is this sloka derived from? Paravyasanini nari vyagrapi graha karmaso. This shloka comes from a text called Panchadashi. Panchadashi is a text of Gyanis, impersonalists. It's like their Upadeshamrit. And what is Mahaprabhu doing? It's using a text from an impersonalist literature to inspire devotion by giving an example of material love. This is called Yukta Vairagya at its best. He's taking the words from impersonalist literature, which is a Jnani literature. He is giving an example, just like how you have a lover outside, you do the work nicely. So this is very unorthodox. Through this, he is inspiring what? Exclusive love towards Krishna. Quoting material love to point to spiritual love. Right? And here we come to the story of two brothers. How in that life also, saints have told that there is nothing actually much difference between material love and spiritual love. There is no as such big difference between material love and spiritual love. It's to whom that propensity is directed. There was one Christian pastor, and an atheist came to him. Now, this atheist started breaking down and saying that, oh, I'm unhappy, I'm not being treated well, so on and so forth. So, this Christian pastor became excited. People said, why did you become excited? He's atheist. Nothing will happen. He said, no, he has a heart. What did he say? He has a heart. He has a propensity to love. So, I can just turn it from matter to God. If somebody has no propensity for loving, where will you turn it? So, our scriptures tell us the story of two brothers. Who are these two brothers? One was Rama Bhakta, another was Krishna Bhakta. The Rama Bhakta was Shri Tulasi Das. And his Chachera Bhai, the son of father's younger brother, Chacha, is Nandadas. Tulasidas took initiation in Ramanuj Sampradaya. And he would chant, their mantra is Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai. And here is Nandadas, who is one of the Ashtachap poets. Ashtachap. Chap means sealed. Ashtachap means eight sealed poets. Who were these eight sealed poets? They were in the court of Vithalanath. We have in Maharashtra we have Vithalanathji. Who was Vithalanathji? He was contemporary of Akbar. Akbar I think everybody knows Akbar, correct? If not, Ashutosh Gawarikar movie had made him famous. So Akbar had Navratnas. Navratnas means nine jewels. And one of the jewel we know, Birbal and Abul Faisal and others. But this was a mundane court, right? They would sing Bollywood songs, like Mollywood songs. You know Mollywood? Mughalwood, Mollywood songs. But Vittalanaji thought, let's design a better court, right? The court where the who is the ruler? Who is the ruler? Srinathji. Srinathji. Gopalji, who came, appeared on the hill of Sri Govardhan. And then later, a lot of attacks happened. He was moved to Nathadwara. But at that time, he was on Govardhan. And the person, the great personality who was serving Govardhan was Sri Vallabhacharya, contemporary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, founder of the Pushti Marg, just like we have the Gaudiya Marg of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it is said these two are sister sampradayas. They have much in common. Vallabhacharya had four disciples: Surdas, Kumbhandas, Govind Swami, Krishnadas. Vittalanath had four other disciples: Chit Swami, Govind Swami, Parmanandas, and Nandadas. And Chaturbhuj Das also, maybe I mixed up. And he orchestrated his sabha with these eight poets, Asht Chap Kavi. And they would sing for whom? For Srinathji. So this was a better Ashtaratnas, better than the Navratnas. And they gave a tough competition to Akbar's court. It is said, Kaliyug mein Dwapar bhayo. In Kaliyug, the kind of opulence and the devotional, the sneha yukta bhakti which they created, the environment, it just made like Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. There would be streams of what? Not tears, but milk, ghee, extreme opulence. This Nandadas and Tulsidas earlier were studying together in Varanasi. And Tulsidas was doing Ram Bhakti, but then somebody captured the mind of Nandadas. Who is that somebody? Sri Krishna. And Tulsidas asked him, why did you go on the other side? And he sang a very nice song. Das राम का नंद का सखा कुछ इधर भी रहा कुछ उधर भी रहा. I am the das of Ram. I am the friend of Krishna. Let me take something here and something here. Laddu and rabdi, both hands. Actually, this Nanda Das was Bhoja Sakha. Bhoja is one of the Krishna's divine friends in the Aprakat Leela, Krishna Leela, the Golok Vrindavan. And he appeared as Nanda Das. And by the way, who came as Tulsidas? Anybody knows? Valmiki. The same Valmiki who wrote the Ramayana came as Tulsidas. So they are studying in Varanasi, and what happens? A toli comes, travelers, hikers, and they say, we are going to Mathura. So Nanda says, my studies are done. Can I go? So Tulsidas was a little protective of his younger brother. He told the other person, he is a little crazy. What he's crazy about? Roop Madhuri. What? Roop Madhuri. We know some people around us also, right, who have a class. They have eyes for class, right? Everything will be properly, has to be properly, meticulously arranged. There has to be things properly painted. It has to be mauve color with the gold color. Things have to be mixed properly. You can't just have any shirt over any pant. Blue and blue. What blue and blue? It should be matched. And they spend whole time matching it, right? And we see that in Loi Bazaar a lot. Sometimes there are shops in front, you know, so the shopkeeper is signing, Are, she needs a yellow chunni. So there will be a transport, amne samne. So he had a eye for class, Roop Madhuri. But it led him into trouble. So he came to Vrindavan, he took bath in Bishram Ghat in Mathura and had fun time. But then he thought, let's go to Dwarka. And there he saw a beautiful Shatrani, a Kshatriya lady, and atak gaye. Roop Madhuri, it was not the kind of thing like something sensuality, but just the class. And he was Bhoj Saka, so he was connecting it with, oh, there is a song, right? Kisne ye roop banaya. Like somebody, who is the divine personality who would have made this? Prabhupada also would, they would say and take Prabhupada for a walk and say, what a great beauty. And Prabhupada would say, what? Imagine the painter who has painted it. So here, Nandadas is attracted to this Shatrani. And he vows, until I see her in the morning or the afternoon, I'll not take prasad. So it is fast till darshan. And now these were conservative times. And the family members are really worried of what's going on. Imagine, somebody sitting at the door. Darshan dijiye aaj. And this is not darshan of Srinath ji. This is a matter of family's reputation. So they tried explaining to him, I mean, this does not happen like that in our town. He said, no, 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 I don't know. I'm just taking darshan. So they decide to go to Gokul. Now, where is Gokul? Now, if you see the Vrindavan's geography, there is a Yamuna, like a sari, flowing, dividing the Braja area into two parts. 7 main forests are on this part, which is the east western. And the eastern part, there are 5 main forests. And down underneath, there is Gokul. Gokul is the area for Pushti Margis. Like Vrindavan town is, you say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. There you will hear Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. So they go to Gokul by crossing the Yamuna and they pay the Malla, the fisher, the boatman, 10 rupees. Some person might follow us. Don't let that person into the boat. Sure enough, Nandadas was following because the home was locked and he thought he better find out where his darshan is moving. So he just comes to Yamuna, he takes bath in Yamuna, and then he gets attracted by Yamuna's beauty. He prays to Yamuna. These people go and reach the other side of Gokul where Vithalanaji is residing. And Vithalanaji is telling, oh, wait, wait, come, take prasadam, take bath, and then come take prasadam. And as they sit, there are 4 asanas. How many? 4 asanas for this person, his wife, and his daughter Shatrani. Fourth one? She said, why 4? He said, no, that person is coming behind you, right? He must be hungry too. He should also take prasad. So they said, but he's the cause of all the trouble. So Vittalnathji gave them a divine vision. He said, who made you come to Gokuldham? Sometimes the push makes us go to Vrindavan. Here is this Gokuldham where Navneet Priya is this little Thakur, Chinni Thakurji, like Laddu Gopal, holding Navneet, which is Makhan in the hand. And who brought you to Navneet Priya? That fellow. And by the way, he has too much love in his heart. Just that we have to turn it. And it's already turned. The moment he took a dip inside Yamuna, Atpendriya Priti Vancha, Thare Bolo, Kam. Krishnendriya Priti Vancha, Thare Prem Nam. Now it's converted to Prem. That same emotion which was directed something else has been turned something else and it has become Prem. Kam has become Prem. And surely he was transferred. What else happened? It also happened to his brother, Tulsidas. And we all know the story. How Tulsidas was just mad. He got married and, he would just run after, spend all the time at home. And once his wife had gone to Maika or the mother's place, and Tulsidas ran and ran and ran. It was raining, it was storm, and he thought something was a boat, but it was a floating dead body. He used that to come across the river. Then he climbed using a rope, but no, that was not a rope, that was snake. And the wife was shocked. She said, if that much sammukta, you are vimuk, that much sammukta you had for Sri Ram, you would have been a saint right now. He transformed. So what happened? For by taking dip in Yamuna and coming in front of Vittalanathji's, Nanda Das' affinity was turned. Because he had the love. Earlier it was material, it became spiritual. And the slap of the wife, you can say the words of the wife, turned the Vimukta into Samukta for Tulsidas. And here are these two brothers whom we revere now. Tulsidas wrote Ramcharitamanas, and Nandadas wrote poems about Krishna's pastimes. In fact, he wrote the entire Rasa Leela, Rasa Panchadhyay in Braj Bhasha. So, Prabhupada would also say, microphone, material or spiritual, depends you sing which songs. Similarly, here, it was a material love but transformed into spiritual love. It was a material hankering, but then it became what? Spiritual hankering. This would be the kind of discussion we'll be taking in the coming days about love in union and love in separation. Actually, material love gets transferred into spiritual love, and in spiritual domain, both are beneficial. However, better than love in union is the love in separation because there is hankering. It was this hankering which made Tulsidas Tulsidas and Nandadas Nandadas. They were hankering. And Rupa Goswami writes about it. In fact, why should we even go to Rupa Goswami in 16th century? Maybe we first go to gopis in the maybe to how many 5,000 years ago when Krishna had left them in the Ras Leela and he came back again. Tasam Avira Bhut Chauris. He came. Why? Because they were crying very nicely. They were crying very beautifully. It is said, Ruruduhu Suswaram Rajan. They were crying very sweetly. That can only happen when you have love in separation. So Krishna came and they thought that we should take his class. He first appeared, then disappeared. Now, after we have done all the gymnastics of remembering him, enacting his pastimes, he's coming again. So they asked him question, Krishna, tell me who are you? There is a one category of people who reciprocate when somebody reciprocates with them. Like, you love them, they will love them. There is a second category of people who will, if you love them, they'll not. There are those who even will love those who are inimical to them. Okay? So first category, you love them, they'll love back. Second category, those who are inimical, still you love them. Third category, either you be inimical or love them, they will not reciprocate. Who are you? That's a question, right? Because when we reciprocated, you left. So we are really doubtful about your personality. Krishna answers it beautifully. He says, there are some who reciprocate when somebody reciprocates with them. Well, it's just a transaction. There are those who reciprocate without even having some reciprocation from their side, like parents. They are the real suhridas because they are not waiting anything in return. Then there are those who will not reciprocate at all, even if you reciprocate or not. They are those who are satisfied in themselves, or they are stinking rich and has too many facilities, because what can your reciprocation do? What can your reciprocation or no reciprocation do? We say, right, कानों पे जूं तक ना रहेंगी. Nothing happens. But I am not in any of these categories. I know how to reciprocate, but I have a style of my own. So what is Krishna saying? Yatha labdha dhana. Somebody who has, who is, very miserly, and he gets the dhan, but then the dhan is lost. Somebody is very poverty stricken, gets the money, but then the money is lost. So what happens? He starts seeing the money everywhere. When the person is poverty stricken, right? He may see money in few places because he hasn't tasted it. When he gets the money, familiarity breeds contempt. But when he again loses the money, what happens? Jit dekho tit 500 rupee. 500. By the way, it's changing now. It will be 200 and 100 rupees soon. Money everywhere. Yeah, maybe in few days, few months. So Krishna is saying, I want them to hanker after me, after my love. So he says, Naham tu sakhyo bhajato pi jantun bhajamya misham anuvritti vrittaye. That love, anuvritti, I want it to get impelled more and more. That was the reason I left you. But I cannot reciprocate. Seeing what love you showed towards me. So napare ham niravadya sanyojam. I cannot repay you back. So whether union is better or separation is better, our Sri Krishna is telling, in his world, what's better? Love in separation. Because that will make you hanker more for him. And that's how he operates. Which means better we learn to gulp separation more than we sip union. To gulp separation more we sip the union. And in this way, we'll explore the themes. Rupa Goswami defines that viraha means even if the lover is near or separated, still you feel no reciprocation. Nothing is happening. No, you can say, there is no embrace of the hearts. Abhishta linganadi virahitam. That is missing. And then Rupa Goswami also stresses what Krishna is telling, na vina vipralambhena sambhogam pushtim ashnute. The union itself will not be surcharged if there is no separation. Imagine the person is always around you. Let there be some curtain, some pardas, let him go somewhere, and then you will we appreciate the value. Otherwise, it is same thing. Ghar ka paneer, dal barabar. So, Rupa Goswami says, Kasha ite hi vastradau. Just like if you take a red cloth and rub it again with more dye, bhuya neva bhivardhate, again it becomes shining red. Or if you have a wedge of love, what? Wedge of love. What do? We have to cut it. So we take two axes. One is the axis of union, another the axis of separation. Both cut deep. Sri Sanatan Goswami mentions that. One is the axe of union, it cuts. The separation too is an axe. It will also cut deep the wedge of love. And then Rupa Goswami quotes this verse in Padyavali, which we have heard in its Vraj version. Jit dekho tit shyam mai hai. Now Krishna has gone away, but wherever I'm seeing Krishna, as though the eyelids have been behind the eyelids, somebody has taken and painted Krishna. And Brahmachari in Vrindavan, I think, or somewhere, he would have like a cover sort of thing, and wherever he would look, that cover would move, right? And inside that cover were painted deities. So, Dita Dekho, Dita Sham Sundar. So, Rupa Goswami is writing in Padyavali that Sangama Viraha Vikalpe. Sangama Viraha Vikalpe. Vikalpa means option. If you have been given the option of union or separation, Sangam or Viraha, what's better? Varameha Viraho na Sangamas Tasyaha. Better is Viraha, not Sangam. Why? Because it says Ekah Saeva Sange. In the Sang, that's just one person. Only one person. Or that person is right there, coordinates X, Y, Z, three-dimensional personality. That's all. But what happens? Tribhuvanamapi Tanmayam Virahe. In Viraha, Tribhuvan becomes Tanmayam, Tatmayam, Tasya Mayam, right? Of Krishna. And for Brajvasis, what? Sri Radha. So, love in separation is better than love in union, and that's what our acharyas have taught us. Srila Prabhupada often would say, have Govinda necessity. What? The necessity of Govinda in our life, not the unnecessary necessities. We collect many unnecessary necessities, but Srila Prabhupada would talk about Govinda necessity. Example was given that a person was meditating. He was chanting his mantra. A girl came by, ran, and just almost toppled over that saint. And the saint was like, who is she? Let me turn aside and do my chanting. Then the next day also the girl came, but she was not that vyagra, not that anxious. So she saw and paid obeisances, and this fellow was not non-linear. Like he became non-linear. He said, I don't understand. Yesterday you almost trampled me. Today you are offering me obeisances. She said, I didn't see you because I was in too much hurry to meet my beloved. And this fellow got a lesson of his life that she is going to meet an ordinary personality, and here I am, who has left the world, and I can't hanker for my Krishna, for my Supreme Lord, who is the control of the entire universe, who has made this girl as well as that boy. Govinda, necessity. And Krishna churns that. He will come in our life and start doing hide and seek. Hide and seek so that our love is also churned. Sometimes devotees also do hide and seek so that we hanker for their love. Why should we do all this in this seminar? Why are we taking this topic of swings of union and separation? First, we want to understand the tattva well because we'll keep hitting that again and again. Almost the entire 10th canto, we'll see Krishna is doing hide and seek. So we better understand this tattva well. Second, it will help us appreciate spiritual rasa. Vipralambha is also a rasa. I'll go little bit, 5-10 minutes. Started late. Okay. So I have the permission. What is rasa? Is jaika. In Hindi we call jaika, right? So take a dahi and eat it bland. Some people like it. Actually not. They mix it with dal and the what's that? Curd rice, and it's little. Bland dahi is bland. But what if we mix it with ingredients? So I'll tell the summer ingredients which are common in Vrindavan. Kala namak, that Kiss little tangy thing. Then you put bura, not khand or shakkar or gud. No, we use bura, which is how to describe it. It's bura, not bura, bura. It's pulverized organic sugar. Then we have a jeera powder, grounded jeera powder. And to finally top it all, we have pudina powder, little bit. You mix it up, and then you can eat it on its own. You don't need other ingredient. So the dahi has been lifted to the level of something which is relishable. This dahi is the bhav state, a rati state, but when it gets lifted by the addition of the ingredients, it is relishable or tasteable, if that's a word, and it's called rasa. Rasa is of two types, the rasa in union and rasa in separation. That's Vipralambha. And Rupa Goswami spends the last chapter of Ujjvala Neelamani on Vipralambha. So it is something which is tasty. And if we understand this, next time we are in a situation of hankering, we'll feel, but why do I feel connection with Krishna? We'll understand why I'm feeling connection with Krishna, because it has lifted to the level of rasa. So to understand the tattva well, to appreciate the spiritual rasa, third, hopefully increase our longing. Just like how saints are longing for Krishna and devotees, and then when we understand that separation is better than union, we also increase our longing and hankering. And finally, perhaps appreciate our current existential struggle in life. That it's okay. Separation too is good. We may be trying out hard, things are becoming mechanical, we're still trying, but maybe we can say Krishna is playing hide and seek. So it's okay, keep trying. Separation also, there is union. I can appreciate my current situation of being separated from that final salvation, and hole hole, there with sufficient patience and grit and determination, we'll come there. But we will appreciate even our situation, even the situation we are in. Srila Prabhupada would say, and with these last quotes and one or two songs, we'll end. Srila Prabhupada said, and you can um, try to listen with full attention. These feelings of separation will make you enriched in Krishna consciousness. Enriched. Feelings of separation. Not that Krishna, I have seen you. Finished. All right. I have understood you, Krishna. Finished. All my business, finished. Prabhupada is saying. Then he says, no. Perpetually think of yourself that I am unfit to see Krishna. हे राधे ब्रजदेवी के चललिते हे नंद सून इतः nor atra no kutah where. Always searching. Our acharyas, when they write songs, they even write about situations like they haven't received Krishna. They are not in association with Krishna while they are in association with Krishna. So big lesson for us. Then Prabhupada says, and this was quoted from lecture 23 March 1967. Then he says in London 1971, the more you feel separation from Krishna, you should understand that you are advancing. And as we go in the series, we'll see how this union and separation are existing in the same place. There's union, there's separation. And still in the union, the devotees think they are separated from Krishna. Either they are afraid Krishna will go, or they are, I don't know what state, that they think that Krishna is further away. Prabhupada said, Don't try to see Krishna artificially. Be advanced in separation feeling, and then it will be perfect. Yesterday was the day of Rath Yatra. Or maybe today it is also the day, I don't know the time. Lunar calendar, solar calendar, whatever. Gauranga calendar, GCal. And Rath Yatra is what? Krishna is feeling separated from Sri Radha. And who is dancing in front of the Ratha? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Radha feeling separation from Krishna. And all this dance of separation is going on. Jagannath on the Ratha is also orchestrating separation from the devotees, isn't it? Those devotees who cannot take darshan, like the non Hindus, that's the custom, they wait for 364 days. And on that, and 365 days in leap year, and on that one day, rather 2 days, first Jagannath comes out on Snanayatra. First time, he's just hankering. I have been a whole day inside eating this all this bhogal. Come on, take me out and fresh air. Not only fresh air, but my devotees. One such devotee was Shala Beg. You know about him? He's a Muslim Bhakta. His father was Tala Beg. Like we used to have olden days names, right? Ishwar Prasad, Badambala. And then the son will be Mahesh Prasad, Badambala, rhyming. So Talbeg, Salbeg. And Talbeg was a real conqueror. He was during the time of Jahangir. And he conquered many lands, but then he was conquered by his Kama. One day he saw a Brahmin lady, actually a widow, and he became attracted towards her. But there were no saint around him, right, to turn his material to spiritual. So he was just attracted in a sensual manner. He married her. Her name changed to Fatima, but she secretly kept practicing what? Her devotion to Jagannath. After he left the body, Salabeg occupied the post. And Salabeg also was a conqueror. He became sick, ultra sick, but his mother was practicing her devotion to Jagannath. She told, chant the name of Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. He did that. After some time, he was cured. And now his propensity to conquer turned towards Jagannath. But Jagannath played hide and seek. He likes to do this union and separation. So Jagannath could come and give darshan, right? No, this person has to come to Jagannath Puri temple but is not allowed entry because he is from Muslim background. Now we'll think, Krishna, you're Jagannath, right? Your name is Jagannath. I mean, you can change the rules. But no, he will not change the rules. And externally appears to be some custom, but internally, what's happening? He's increasing the hankering of his devotee. So Shalve goes to Vrindavan. He spent some time there. And then on the Rath Yatra, which was yesterday, he comes and waits. But he becomes sick. And he prays to Jagannath, let your Rath not move for some time. So that I get cured and then I can take the darshan. And so it happened. Nandi Ghosh, the Ratha of the Jagannath, didn't move. And finally there was union, separation and union. And it is this Shalavek whose one song has become the national anthem perhaps in Jagannath Puri. Everybody sings that song. And maybe we should sing it too. The last one. आहे नील शैल प्रबल मत वरण प्रबल मत वरण आहे नील शैल प्रबल मत वरण last one song 3 आहे नील शैल प्रबल मत वरण आहे नील शैल प्रबल मत वरण मुआरत नलिनी बन कुकर डलन मुआरत नलिनी बन कुकर डलन. Oh, Neela Shaila. Neela Shaila is who? Jagannath. Blue Mountain. But Jagannath is not Blue Mountain, right? But like in Shakespeare, we called the King of England as England. Because he's the most important person. So who is the most important person on the Blue Mountain? Jagannath. Ahe Neela Shaila, O Jagannath, you are like the mad elephant. Pravala Matta Varana. You are the mad elephant. Now what do the mad elephants like? They like to trample everything. So he is saying, Mo Arata Nalini Bana. Bana means forest. Nalini means lotus. Arata means anxiety. You trample my lotus forest of anxiety. Does not make sense. How can anxiety be like a lotus forest? But the anxiety of hankering, separation, is also sweet. Arata Nalini Kunja. And you're the elephant, you like the forest anyway, and you like the lotus forest anyway. Why don't you come and trample it? Because I'm anxious. आहे नील शैल प्रबल मत वरण आहे नील शैल प्रबल मत वरण मुआरत नलिनी बन कुकुडलन मुआरत नलिनी बन कुकर डलन. How can you Can you give me examples? Jagannath is asking Shalbeg, why don't you give me analogies? So he says, Gaj Raj Chinta Kal Thai Gor Jalena. Gaj Raj Chinta Kal Thai Gor Jalena. चक्र पेशी नक्र नासी उधरील अपना चक्र नक्र नासी उधरील अपना. Gajraj Chinta. Who was the Gajraj? Gajendra. He was too anxious because his leg was captured by Nakra, the crocodile. And he was in Ghor. Ghor means thick, muck. Oftentimes we too are in the muck, right? So what did he do? Chakra Peshi. He sent his chakra and he did what? Nakra Nashi. He destroyed or he decimated that Nakra crocodile and he did the Uddhar. Jagannath is not satisfied. He says, give me more examples. Now we go to the third one. Kuru sabha tale suni Draupadi rajanana. Tale suni Draupadi rajanana. Koti bastra dei hele lajja kala barana. Koti bastra lajja kala barana. Draupadi was also anxious. And what happened? You sent her all the saris of the Loi Bazaar. Maybe more. Koti, kilometers, miles and miles. Not satisfied. What else did you do? रावणर भाई विभीषण गल शरण रावणर भाई विभीषण शरण शरण संभलिता कुलंके काल राजन संभलिता कुलंके काल राजन. Even Vibhishan was anxious and he was given shelter and was made king. And then he says, even Prahlad, Pita se je bada dushta daruna. Pita was big darun, dushta daruna. But Sthambaru Bahari, you came out of the Stamba and Taku Bidarila, you did the bifurcation and came out. Now I am also crying. Who is saying that? Shalabeg. कह साल बेगहीन जाति रे मुजहना कह साल बेगहीन जाति रे मुजबना श्रीरंगा चरण तले करो आछि जनना श्रीरंगा चरण तले करो आछि. Salabega is saying that I am born of the low caste, but I'm separated from you. Now I want to take Sri Ranga Charana. I want to take the shelter of your beautiful lotus feet, which are pinkish, Sri Ranga, and liberate myself. That's his prayer. That's our prayer also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We can take questions, comments, reflections, suggestions. Any thought which stuck in your mind? Yes, Ashish.
So you mentioned when you were talking about the elimination of rag and dvesh puts us into a state of jivan mukta. That's that you were saying in was it in relationship to like the stages of growth in bhakti, or it was a general? I'm trying to understand at what state does that?
Raga and Dvesha towards Vishaya both are problematic. Because if you have asakti towards Vishaya, soon it will convert into Dvesh because the Vishaya is temporary. Right? Or our capabilities to do the upabhog is temporary. So both rag and dvesh towards material objects, material phenomenon, has to be given up. Because rag and dvesh then will also lead to avinivesh. And all of these are the causes of kleshas. I mean, these are kleshas. Okay? That's why Krishna says, raga dvesha vimukta istu vishayan indriyais charan. Like, do the upabhog but without rag and dvesh, considering ourselves as the caretaker and not the proprietor, the controller, and the enjoyer. Does that make sense? Thank you. More thoughts, comments? Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Just, I understand when in the union we have a blissful or happiness within that dimension, like one person.
1D.
Yeah,
One,
only.
3D. Yeah.
But when in separation, we have so many, and you quoted us in Braja we have a Radhe. So I'm not uh, got the 100% Prabhuji. I understand when the separation we have more love in thinking about the person whom we are loving in different angle, different pastimes. But when you say Braja Radhe, I'm not. I didn't get that connection, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah.
What is that? Yeah.
Even I'm thinking Braj Radhe, like you're talking about the Brajbasis who, when Krishna left and they were singing in the beginning, right? Nis din barasat nain hamare. Now they are so much separated from Krishna. Krishna has left Vrindavan, and next session we'll see this is called Pravas. And then Krishna goes daily to the forest, so it is Pravas, and then it is Sudur Pravas when Krishna goes to Mathura and Dwarka. So at that time, they just keep thinking about Krishna whole time. So perhaps that's what I meant. That's what I said. I'm also trying to remember what did I say. Or Radha Rani thinks, yes, you want to add? You were mentioning the Padyavali verse. Ah, is saying this, that I see Krishna everywhere. Yes, yes. That Padyavali verse is actually from Sahitya Darpan. So Sahitya Darpan is, you can say, a materialistic kavya literature. But then Rupa Goswami also quotes a similar verse in this Padyavali, which says Sangama Viraha Vikalpe. If we have an option of union or separation, Varamaya Viraho. Better is Viraha na Sangamastasya. So it's quite striking that if we given two options, union or separation with the beloved, with the Supreme Lord, they are saying better is separation. Because eka saiva sange, if you are together, that's one person. But if you're separated, tribhuvan api tanmayam. Oh, that's one. Okay. The entire world becomes tanmayam. Everywhere it's like you see that personality. And that's the stage for Brajvasi that happened when Krishna left. Okay, so that was the one. Okay. Thank you for helping. Which is translated in Braj as Jit Dekhun Tit Shamamayi hai. Wherever I see, that becomes Sham. Okay, thank you. More questions, reflections, suggestions?
Is there a process for or a practice or a sadhana for increasing the hankering?
Yes, yes,
Or does
yes.
it fall simply in the category of bhava?
No, we can also practice. Just like sometimes we say, right, oh Prabhu, we are getting rasa. Actually, not. Because rasa is the state which minimum needs bhav. The rasa stage of relishing needs at least bhav, and on the bhav there is vibhav, anubhav, sanchari bhav, and they mix together just like the dahi becomes that jai kedar preparation. But still we say we get rasa. That rasa is rasamsha, some ansha of the rasa, maybe from some other person. So similarly, while the vipralambha rasa, which we are talking about is a very elevated stage, still we also get some semblance of it, and hence we can also practice it in our lives. How? Well, Shikshastakam is many of the verses in Shikshastakam, meditation on them is practicing hankering. We know many verses like that. What's the fourth verse or the fifth verse? Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam separation. So, I mean, yes, we are in the Krishna's lap, right? I mean, Krishna is inside the heart. So, in one way, we are together with Krishna. And in Braj, we say that we are sleeping in the lap of Radha and Krishna because Vrindavan is non-different. But what's the meditation? Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishave Bhavam Budhau. So I'm separated. Kripaya Tava पाद पंकज स्थित धूलि सदृशम विचिंतया. ऐसा सोचना है. Then what's the next verse? Nayanam galadashtrudharaya vadanam gadgadaruddhaya gira. Again separation. By practicing these verses, meditating on it, it's a training in hankering. What Prabhupada is saying, Govinda necessity. Or looking at the lives of our acharyas, the different Goswamis who were actually Manjari Ganas, and they were, Parshadas of Krishna, but they are enacting their sadhaka pastimes as separated. And what best example can be of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Radha Bhava Suvalitam Krishna Swarupam. Naumi Krishna Swarupam, we say, he is Antar Krishnam Bahir Gauram. And he is always immersed in the feelings of separation and kind of teaching us also. So, yes, there are ways to do it. Even while chanting, there is one feeling of, we can feel, oh, I am with the names of Krishna and Nam Krishna, Nam Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It's abhinnatvat. It is not different from Krishna. Or we can think Thantanpal. You know this word Thantanpal? Kachu bhi nahi hai. Nothing is happening. Krishna, I'm far away from you. Do something, Baba. There was a Baba of Nandagram. He would always worship Krishna and Balram. But after many years, nothing is happening. So he told the deities, you are Nishthur. Nishthur means you are very hard-hearted. I am going to Barsana. She is Barsane wali. She is little bit kind, and we know mothers are kinder. So I am going there. And everybody is explaining, why are you going? They will come, just wait. No, they are pakka Nishthur. So can Krishna tolerate this? In fact, he is only creating this mode of separation, and this person is getting inspired to then elongate this feeling of separation. So would Krishna wait? No. They came as two young boys in Godholi Bela and stood in front of this Baba. Baba, where are you going? Barsana. Why? And who will feed us milk? Who are you? So they touched his hand, and of course, Midas touch, right? Golden touch. He figured out that these are none other than Krishna Balram. He fainted, and the next day people came. He was still swooning in ecstasy. So sometimes the viraha is being orchestrated by that side, and sometimes we can evoke that mood even in our most confidential practice, which is chanting. I'm separated. In the late hours of night when the world is going through pralay, actually pralay, right? We don't know whether we'll wake up in the morning. It's pralay. Literally, it's a miracle how we wake up and think that I am that same person. So when that pralay is going, the work is done, hopefully, and the phone is stored away, we can think, Krishna, I'm separated from you. My land is Golok Vrindavan, and I'm here. Well, Portland is also Golok Vrindavan, but I'm separated. That hankering can be cultivated. In fact, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written Bhajan Rahasya. I haven't read it, but he has several verses in there, and I think he would practice meditating on those verses even while chanting. Like chant and then take a verse and then cultivate a feeling of separation. So that is very practical. Does that help? Thank you. More questions, reflections? You want to share something? Okay. More thoughts, reflections? Okay. So today we warmed up. Tomorrow we'll see the promises of Krishna. He makes too many promises. And in his promises are the seeds of separation, which are held by Brajvasis, based on which, and sowing those seeds of separation in their heart, the creeper of divine love sprouts. So that'll be our next session. And I think tomorrow there are two sessions. So Krishna will make promises and he will not break them. Hare Krishna.
Go.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So uh, tomorrow we have two sessions. The first one is beginning at 11:30 a.m. at the home of Vidagdha Madhav Prabhu and Kirtida Mataji, and their wonderful parents are here. So that's at 11:30, and in the evening, the session is at Madhusudan Prabhu and Madhura Mataji's home. I think they're busy preparing for it. Are they here in the back? No. So, and the evening time is right now it's 5:30 p.m., but we might move it around a little bit, like push it out slightly. Huh? Is that
Yeah.
the plan?
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll announce tomorrow in the tomorrow program. So just push out maybe by some half an hour or something. We'll let you know. So tomorrow we have two sessions. Please come for those. Also, I think Prabhuji has two announcements. One is Prabhuji's new book has come out last 2 years when Prabhuji was traveling. The book called Horizons was there. So Prabhuji has written a brand new book, and he'll share a little bit more about it after I. And then the other thing is that there is a youth program on Wednesday by Prabhuji. So Prabhuji has done this kind of a we haven't had such a thing, so to say, in Portland before, but maybe that's a new thing that we can try out. And Prabhuji has done such a thing in many other cities, and it has been very well received by the youth. So youth sort of definition could be like 6 to 18. So actually, by birth, youth,
Not youth
by
at heart,
not youth at heart.
which I think everybody is
Right, right.
in this
So the
assembly.
idea is to have the youth engage with Prabhuji directly, no parents, otherwise then the whole point is kind of lost. So even I won't be there. So it'll just be Prabhuji and the hosts and the
The
youth.
host will also not be there in that
I
room,
think so,
right?
yeah. They'll be in the house, but to make sure that Prashadam
Yeah,
and other
yeah,
things
yeah.
for the youth are there.
There'll be separation.
So Prabhuji can say a little bit more about what he intends to do in the program, or like what his experience might have been in other places. So maybe we could start with the book, and anybody, we have sufficient copies of the book. If anybody would like, you can contact me, but I'll let Prabhuji explain a little bit more. It just came out and I haven't read it myself.
Thank you. Well, for the youth program, it will be just an interaction with those who are um, youth by age, like who are. I know what you mean. I hope you understand by that. The college goers or going to the college or school, like that, and the discussion would be around, as we are entering into the society, material world, and now more challenge is gonna come. So talk about them and how we can balance our both material aspirations as well as have a spiritual touch also. And since we had some journey into academia, corporate, startups, I welcome any sort of discussion under the sun. I think we will keep it to that. Okay, that's it. Okay, is
Yes,
that,
Prabhuji.
yeah?
So there's a sign up sheet, I think, that has been
Okay.
signed.
RSVP for all the programs, which includes the kids program also.
So yeah, please RSVP for the kids program with your kids' name, so we can get a sense of how many kids are coming for that program. Okay.
Okay. And about the book, it's a historical fiction, like inspired from Jaiva Dharma, which is also historical fiction, sort of, written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This book operates at three levels. At one level, it's the story of a seeker who's a fictitious character, and he is a friend of Akbar, also known as Mansingh, meets with Jeev Goswami, Srinivasacharya, and his journey is unfolding. At other level, it's the times of 16th century, 1552 AD to 1600 AD, where Vrindavan was first building. The first or the second renovation of Vrindavan, all the temples are coming up, and especially we have tried to showcase the building of Govind Dev temple. At the third level, this book is about art and architecture and the whole culture of Vrindavan. The flora, the fauna, what would Vrindavan look like at that time? What the architecture of the temples, who made it, who was doing the land arguments and agreements behind the back, and it has also some bit of suspense which will unfold and get revealed only until the second last chapter. But the history has not been tampered with. All the history is exact, so the book also gives lot of references if you want to really check the actual Persian documents or Brajbhasha documents, which are sometimes letters between the Goswamis and the Mughals. So that effort has gone, and maybe this is the chutney to the main course of Srila Prabhupada books. Sometimes chutney may increase the jaika. You can try it. Hare Krishna.
Well, I'm excited to read it. And I know you've been talking about it over the year, and yeah, I can say how much research you've put into it. So as you said, I'm very sure it's very well researched. It's not just fiction from beginning to end.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. More questions? The host.
If anybody has
Turn
any
to host.
questions, Prabhuji will be here, and you can
Yes, yeah.
interact with him. And if you want to have any discussion with Prabhuji or want to meet him or something, you can let me know. We can arrange a time, and you can discuss things with him if you want.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for so much wonderful descriptions. Some of these compositions actually studied in my high school as part of Sahitya Hindi, but I never really realized the spiritual meaning of this until like you revealed all these amazing, beautiful descriptions. So thank you so much for that. That's a totally new nuance to it.
I didn't know they were there inside the Hindi.
And in UP Port, like we studied a lot of these. And thank you so much for all the wonderful devotees who made this event possible, and all our friends who helped in organizing and preparing prasadam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Somebody want to sing Prasadam perhaps?